The story begins with police officer Sheng, who is dropping Marnie off at her home from jail. Marnie had been accused of murdering her own husband, but due to her good behavior in prison, the court decided that she would now serve the rest of her sentence at home. However, there was one condition. An electronic tracker would be attached to her leg, and her movements would be restricted to a 100-foot radius. If she crosses that boundary, the tracker will sound an alarm, and the police will immediately arrive. As soon as Sheng leaves, Marnie starts tidying up the house a bit. She goes upstairs and looks at a photo of herself and her husband hanging on the wall. The memories were many, but everything was over now. She takes her husband's pictures and clothes and throws them in the basement, then cleans the bloodstains off the wall. As evening falls, Marnie prepares to sleep. Just as she blows out the candle and lies down on the bed, she hears strange noises from under the bed. Frightened, she peeks underneath and finds a dead rat lying there. Marnie wasn't allowed to leave the house, so she had to order food and groceries online. That's how she meets the delivery boy, Joey. Later that night, just as Marnie is about to light a cigarette, she suddenly sees the ghost of her husband. Terrified, she immediately runs downstairs, but slips and falls. As soon as she opens the front door, the tracker alarm goes off. Her husband's spirit is slowly approaching her. Marnie gathers her courage and runs back upstairs. In the next scene, Officer Sheng arrives at the house and checks whether Marnie had tried to escape. But as he leaves, he says one thing. The blood on the wall is still visible. Marnie is shocked. She was sure she had cleaned everything. The next day, while Marnie is reading the newspaper, the utensils in the kitchen begin to move on their own and then start flying toward her. Enraged, Marnie screams, "Even after death, you won't let me live in peace. How much more will you torment me?" Then Joey comes to Marnie's house and tells her that the whole neighborhood is talking about her now. People have started looking at her differently, but Joey believes that a woman like Marnie could never kill someone without a reason. That's when Marnie tells Joey her truth. Her husband was in the police but had a very bad character. He used to come home angry every day and beat Marnie. She had filed multiple complaints with the police, but Shanks, who was her husband's friend, always hushed things up. When Marnie finally talked about getting a divorce, her husband got furious. He threatened her with a knife. To save her life, Marnie snatched the knife from him and accidentally ended up killing him. Joey feels sorry for Marnie. He not only becomes her friend, but also gives her his phone number. As he's leaving, Marnie asks him to bring some books about exorcism if possible. He brings those books. They state that to bring peace to a spirit, all of the deceased's belongings must be burned and a ritual should be performed in the house. After this, Marnie goes to the basement to burn her husband's things. That's when the spirit reappears. The lights in the basement suddenly turn on and the door shuts on its own. At that very moment, Marnie's dead husband appears there. Just as Marnie tries to gather the things and leave, she runs into him. He shoves her hard and refuses to let her touch the bag. But Marnie is not the same woman anymore. Somehow, with a sudden jerk, she manages to break free and escape from there. At the same time, Officer Shangs hears the noise and arrives, but he doesn't find anything unusual in the house. Now Shangs starts to suspect that Marnie is hiding something from him. Crying, Marnie says, "Even after death, my husband isn't leaving me alone." Shangs takes it as a joke and leaves angrily. As soon as he leaves, Marnie hurriedly picks up her husband's belongings and throws them into a nearby garbage truck, thinking that maybe now everything will finally end. But that didn't happen. While Marnie is washing her hands, her eyes fall on the ring her husband had given her, the one she's still wearing. Panicking, she takes it off and throws it into the sink. But as soon as she reaches to pick it up again, a hand comes out from inside the sink and grabs hers. At that same moment, the garbage disposal turns on. Somehow, Marnie kicks the switch off just in time and saves herself. At that moment, bloodstains start to reappear on the wall. Marnie is now completely shattered. She begins throwing things around the house, desperately searching. That's when she discovers a hidden door under the bedroom floor. When she opens it, she finds a black plastic bag inside, filled with bundles of cash, all the bribe money her husband had hidden. Marnie decides this money is of no use anymore. She takes it all and donates it to a church, pleading with the priest to perform a ritual at her house. But the priest refuses, saying this is beyond their abilities. Now Marnie decides to do it herself. She reads from a book of rituals. She burns incense and starts spreading it in every corner of the house. As soon as she reaches the second floor, she feels something strange, as if a shadow is following her again. Marnie is now utterly terrified. She thinks of leaving the house, but as soon as she moves toward the door, all the windows and doors shut by themselves and get locked. Marnie's husband's spirit was now tormenting her. He didn't want to kill her, just scare her again and again. Out of fear, Marnie no longer wanted to be alone. She immediately calls Joey, the delivery boy who had now become her friend. She says, "If you could stay with me tonight, I might feel a little peace." Joey arrives right away. They meet, hug, and become each other's support. For the first time, Marnie feels the warmth of someone truly her own. And that night, the two fell asleep in each other's arms. But the next morning, when Marnie looked out the window, her husband's spirit had now gone completely insane. The spirit launches a violent attack on her. He starts beating Joey brutally, twisting his arms, breaking his legs, and finally hitting him so mercilessly that Joey dies right there. Meanwhile, Shanks, who was already watching Marnie from outside, hears the screams coming from the house and rushes in. But Marnie tries to stop him. "Just give me 2 minutes, I'm getting dressed," she says. Using this excuse, she quickly gathers Joey's body and stuffs it into a secret basement hidden beneath the floor on the upper level. Now Shanks doesn't wait any longer. He breaks open the door with his team and enters the house. He quickly searches the upper floor, but doesn't find anything significant. After sending everyone else away, he personally questions Marnie. He asks, "Did Joey come to your house?" Marnie replies, "Yes, he came last night. I was alone, so I asked him to stay. When I woke up in the morning, he was gone. Maybe he left early." Marnie was still speaking when blood started dripping from the ceiling. And with a loud crack, the ceiling breaks open and the corpse falls straight down, right on top of Shanks. Shanks panics and assumes that Marnie has killed Joey. He immediately handcuffs her wrist. Marnie thinks, "I wish it all ended here. Just take me away from this place." But just then, her dead husband appears once again. He shoves both of them forcefully and appears in his full, terrifying form. Now Shanks also realizes that Marnie wasn't lying. Marnie's husband didn't want to spare anyone now, neither Marnie nor Shanks. He throws both of them into the basement and then sets the entire house on fire. Shanks falls unconscious. Marnie barely manages to unlock the handcuffs and tries to escape through the basement window. At that moment, Shanks regains consciousness. Marnie goes back inside and pulls him out. But just as she's about to get out herself, the spirit appears again and blocks her path. But now Marnie has no fear left. She picks up a baseball bat from the ground and strikes the spirit with all her strength. But it has no effect. Instead, the spirit starts choking her with the same bat. In her final moments, Marnie plays a trick. She pretends to faint. And when the spirit leans in, she takes off her wedding ring and throws it in his face, as if ending the relationship forever. The moment the ring lands in the spirit's hand, his form calms down. His face changes back to how it looked when he was alive. He softly says Marnie's name and then disappears into the smoke. Marnie quickly picks up her cat and runs outside. Behind her, the house explodes into flames and burns to ashes. Shanks, who is now fully conscious, sees it all, and instead of stopping Marnie, lets her go. In the end, Marnie boards a bus, heading toward a new city, a new life. And the story of her mysterious and terrifying journey makes headlines in the newspapers the next day. With this, the story ends here. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.